whereas the Crunch and Beyond album had been more the glam rock stuff. The next record, the RAH album, was much more jazzy and more, you might say, sophisticated, slightly more sophisticated than the Crunch. Though the last track on the Crunch album, the previous album, was eventually covered by Herb Alpert. He did a cover version of Beyond. So after the RAH album, I decided to write a song. And I'd never written a song in my life. I've written a tune, but I'd never put words to the tune. So I thought, I'm going to have a go at writing lyrics, because it didn't sound that hard, you know. And I used to, I still do, take a regular bath every day. And I took my notepad and a pencil, and I thought, I'm going to write a lyric. I've got the basic track there. I've got a nice tune, but I haven't got any words. Now, what shall I say? It was very naive to start with, so I started with, come with me. I thought, that fits perfect, come with me. Oh, that's great. And we'll write, oh, I'm getting into this. And I wrote the song called Perfumed Garden. I tried to sing it myself. Oh, no, please don't, Richard. It's not very good. So I thought, oh, my wife, now my ex-wife, was a brilliant pianist, still is a brilliant pianist. Liz, my ex-wife, she came and said, what do you want me to sing? I said, well, I've written it all out. Come with me and we'll ride to the Perfume Garden in the night. Okay, is that all right? There's the tune. And she did. And I thought, you know what? Actually, I know it's very simple. It's not diva-like and hasn't got vibrato or anything. So I thought, this sounds pretty good. Right, sing the rest of it. And she did all the rest of it and sang the whole song. And it came out just simple. It just had a little quality that I hadn't heard before. So we did it, and that's up. Right, I'm into writing lyrics now, writing songs, actual songs. That was the Going Up album, which included also the well-known now, not at the time, but well-known, the Messages from the Stars track. So Messages from the Stars, in the same sort of way as Perfume Garden was done, was just me. I wrote a lovely little tune, and then asked my wife, ex-wife, to come in and just sing the notes exactly as they are. And that was it. I got Messages from the Stars. And there we are. With that was born, not realising that like 40-something years later, it would spiral into a massive TikTok hit and kids playing it in America and everywhere.
Happy birthday, bitch!
I get messages from the stars when you're making love to me.
But a lot of the tunes, I like to do a Hitchcock-type appearance, and that's me saying hello, hello, and all that. Anyway, that bass line, now we are using the Roland SH5 synthesizer, which strangely sounds very similar to the Crunch bass, even though it is a synthesizer this time. All that is that Roland synth. A lot of people have said, what synths did you use? And I said, no, just one. And it's that one overdubbed, because I did the backing in my bedroom, overdubbing these various parts. And on this tune, I don't think I put any extra instruments. When you get to electronic music, everything has to be exactly in time. Drummers are very loose, which is a great feel for jazz and jazz funk. But with electronic drums, everything is absolutely in time. I get messages from the stars. All, yeah. There we are. I had a trip or two to America to do some work with Supertramp and a film called Xanadu. Back in those days, there were no cell phones or any of that stuff. When you called up an international call, you got what was called the international operator. So you'd pick up the phone and say, hello, I'd like to make a call to so-and-so, so-and-so. Great. Now that stuck in my head. And when I got back home, I kept thinking of this thing about international operator, international. And for some reason or other, I thought, what about if it was set in the future and it was called the intergalactic operator? That opens up a whole new lot of possibilities about the man being on Mars and his wife being back at home. So that's how that was born. The Clouds Across the Moon actually came from, indirectly, from going to Hollywood and hearing about the international operator.
Yes, I'm trying to reach Flight Commander P.R. Johnson on Mars Flight 247.
So Clouds Across the Moon, surprisingly to me, as much as anybody else, became a big club hit, and then after that zoomed into the regular charts. And we actually did Top of the Pops and Soul Train and all these television shows. We even had a trip to France, I think, to do French television. That was the start of the Mystery album. I would say half instrumental and half vocals on that album. And one or two of them, like there's one called Float, which did very well in America. It's a very cool song. The story attached to that is I'd written the track, and I wanted to put something on it. I tried to do the voice myself, and it was float, let yourself float. And I thought, oh dear, that's really awful. It sounds terribly English. And it was quite funny, actually, with a very funky track and me going, float. So what I did with my bag of tricks, I had a thing that changed your voice into a really funky voice. So I put my voice through it, and it came out great. Anyway, that album, Mystery, it's nice to see it all coming out on box set again all these years later, 40, 45 something years later. It's all out there again, which is amazing. And to hear them on CD, because there weren't CDs then, it was all vinyl, of course. So that was the Mystery album.